Hey party people, Andrew here at SHOT 2023 with Kat from Global Ordnance. We know you guys for the importers of the Stribog and the Grand Power and quite a few other really iconic guns that made a lot of, gained a lot of popularity in a real short period of time.
Yes.
So what's new this year?
Well, we have a few things new from Grand Power this year. We just got these approved, so they'll be in country soon. But a 9x18 Makarov, I know you like to handle these, so I'll hand that to you. And we have a nice new 22. It's a bit smaller and yet a little bit heavier than the 22 that we already have. So we're just giving people a few different options, bringing in some new calibers, some things that have already existed and we just hadn't brought them in country yet. A little bit more exciting. I know everyone's big fans of Stribog. Grand Power obviously is the manufacturer, but we have a Stribog that's going to be available in 22.
That's pretty awesome.
So they've already been manufacturing that. We just got it approved to bring these in. So we're pretty excited to bring some new calibers. We'll have more coming. I don't want to say too much, but we're trying to diversify a little bit. Everyone knows the Stribog as a 9mm and it's great, but we're trying to bring some more options.
That's pretty sick. All the controls, everything work exactly the same?
Everything's pretty much the same, yeah. So everything's ambidextrous. Obviously, you see they're going to come standard now with a Picatinny backplate. So if you wanted to like sling mount or something, that's a really good option.
Or that other thing that the ATF's been giving us a hard time about.
Well, and so that's part of some of the thought process behind this.
Kat and I were talking a little bit about the disruption that's been caused in the industry,
right.
And it's hard for any of you guys to talk about it much. I can say some things that you guys can't say.
Of course.
Because it all involves the law and a business that people's livelihood depends on. If something happened to Global Ordnance, Kat wouldn't be able to pay the bills. And you guys have to be really careful about how you communicate about what's going on.
Right.
But one thing that really struck me that I hadn't even really considered before is in your case, it's complicated even further by 922 compliance.
Right. So
not only do we have this bomb, this hand grenade that ATF threw in the room to just
right before
SHOTShow, obviously
SHOTShow.
Intentionally to disrupt you guys.
Right. We submitted probably way more comments than they were happy with when they had that open forum. There's a lot of concern, and it's not even just our livelihood. So Global Ordnance is the importer for Grand Power. Well, that means it's theirs too.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about an entire factory at the manufacturer where we may be selling less firearms because people are not happy with the state in which they are received. A Picatinny backplate, it's just not the same experience that we all had with a brace.
Yes,
so if we're selling less, that means they're selling less to us, and it kind of spirals. I know we did a workup on the economic impact for both our business as well as globally. It has been pretty difficult, and we really didn't think they were going to release the information right before SHOT because there's no way. I feel bad for the poor ATF agents down at their booth.
That's their typical move, though. They've done that often.
Everyone's still trying to figure it out. I haven't read all 263 pages yet. My compliance officer probably hasn't either. My lawyer's probably still looking through. There's a lot to review, and there's still a lot of questions. And as you said, kind of in limbo.
There is no single point in that entire document where they say this configuration is acceptable.
Right. It's take a picture and work up the numbers, and they're somehow leaving it up to us to try to figure out if we're in compliance or not, but then we might not be because it's all about interpretations, and it's a very difficult place to be. You
mentioned something that I had never considered earlier. If an end user buys one of your products and decides, you know what, I would like this to be registered as a short barrel rifle. I don't want any of this nonsense with the brace and all that. I want to register it. When you register on a Form 1, you become the manufacturer.
Right.
But you're the manufacturer of a gun that was imported, so you're also subject to 922R as the end user.
Right.
And a lot of people out there might not realize that if they were to form one a Stribog, they need to make sure they play that parts count dance.
Right.
Yeah. Or, just be based as hell until the ATF
as far as I know, that is the case, yes.
There is a lot of complexity is the bottom line.
Yes.
I'm not trying to give legal advice or something. I'm saying that the ATF threw a hand grenade into the room with their opinion, and the existing import laws also complicated even worse.
They do. Obviously, they were open for comments. We all knew something might be coming a long time ago, and we also know a lot of people were looking for something that they could run for like a PCC match. So we've already kind of been in the process of figuring out how to make a 922R compliant Stribog for the US anyway in a carbine or SBR configuration. So we've been working with a few different manufacturers and aftermarket and things like that to try to bring people another option anyway. So it kind of still allows, as everything stands the way it is, you may be able to still get a really cool Stribog that has like different stocks and things. We've got an extended rail on here. And this one's pretty simple. This will be the first one that we have available because we can have a USA-made Glock compatible magazine. We can grab it from, Magpul or something and be compliant there. Once again, it's all still in question. Everyone here is still trying to figure out what their position is going to be, how they're going to remain compliant as right.
That's what they wanted. They got what they wanted. They wanted to disrupt the industry. They didn't want to bring anybody to trial. They know that if they go to trial, they could lose. They're going to lose the whole. Here, let me help you with that.
Thank you. I was struggling with the way that I had it here. I should have just picked it up and fixed it.
I don't have pretty nails, and
I know I'm trying not to break these.
Dude, I could not do. I don't know how you do it, or any other ladies that work in the industry that keep themselves together well. You guys have a lot of pressure put on you to look a certain way. I mean, dudes can roll out the room in the t-shirt and cargo pants, and we're okay with that.
You totally get away with it.
And you got to handle guns all day long. Like, my hands are all jacked up from touching these cheese graters. I don't know how you do it.
I'm not going to lie, I don't usually do them because I've broken so many nails just by grabbing a rail and you snap one off. So it's really just so that when I hold up something like this and I Vanna White it, I can be like,
Yeah, nicer than that.
Doesn't really work as well with yours.
So we're doing full size, 16-inch. We're aiming at, like you were saying, the PCC competition market a little bit.
Yeah, and plus it's actually a really cool configuration. I don't know if you like the look of this. I really like the look of it.
I do like it aesthetically. I like it. It's practical. 9mm PCCs are really easy to shoot well. You add a little bit of barrel length, a little bit of weight to it. They turn into absolute pussycats. And it's not like they're a Nerf gun. Oh, it's only a 9mm. Put some holes in you.
The nice part is there's so much aftermarket support for Stribogs already that it makes it a lot easier for us to do things like putting an extended handrail on. It's already made, it exists. We just work with some of our partners, people that we've been working with very closely for all this time. I think Franklin Armory actually came out with a new binary trigger for Stribog too. So there's a lot of aftermarket support already. People love these. I love these. I own them myself, and I paid for them with my own money. I believe in the product. I like them myself. And so even me personally, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do next after I read all of the 200 plus pages of this. So
everybody has to make their own decision on that, and I would never, ever, ever advise someone to break the law out loud. But the obvious question that we always ask at SHOT is how much and when can we get it? Of course, there's a lot of variation here,
right?
But can you give us some ballpark ideas on?
So we're still working up some of the pricing models because we're deciding what configurations we want to offer. We want to have something that's kind of like a base model and then something that has a few more upgrades and tweaks to it. So we don't have, I can't tell you right now, like, oh, this is going to be $15.99. A Stribog right now, an A1 starts at $900 MSRP, which is a great deal.
Yeah.
Well, once I have to slap a barrel in and put a rail on and, add things. So I don't have specific pricing for you, but I would say end of Q1, maybe early Q2, we'll have these available and we can ship them and we'll have the whole model written up. But we wanted to make sure we had some options.
Of course. And follow the website, of course, which is?
globalordnance.com.
Awesome. What about the Makarov, the 22s?
Coming soon. These are very very, very fresh. They just got approved for import, and we put them in a gun case and brought them out here because we wanted to be able to show people that we are trying to diversify and move forward and offer some new things. And then the last thing that I will talk about too is some new ammunition. So we talk a lot about the guns, and guns are cool and they're fancy and they're fun to look at and touch and feel and everything else.
They're pretty quiet without ammo.
They are, yes, a little more boring without ammo. But Global Ordnance is a huge ammo importer. I don't know that everyone knows that. A lot of our business is ammunition. We supply both distributors, dealers. We sell it ourselves commercially. So we will be bringing in some steel-cased ammunition. Obviously, there's some other things that have kind of changed the landscape of our entire industry in recent history. A certain company not bringing in steel-cased ammunition anymore that was affordable or more affordable than what we had available. So we're working with Sterling. We already import a lot of their products. So we'll have steel-cased 9mm and 7.62, and I think we'll be working on some other rounds and calibers.
Where's it going to be produced?
This is produced in Turkey.
Awesome. So it's not going to be affected by administrative decisions on import from Russia?
Nope.
Awesome. Because you say steel case, and of course people
and
immediately
think
go
Russia,
to Russia, and we're like, okay, so you're sitting on a container ship full of it, but we're not going to get any more?
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah, this is current production. There is a pipeline.
This is a brand new product from Sterling that we'll be bringing in. So
awesome.
Just gives people a little bit another option. Right now we have 9 and 7.62 by 39, and then I think we're working on a few others with them as well.
I want to tell you right up front that I think a lot of our viewers would say 300 blackout. I think that's a big. I've been hearing a lot of, and I'm not even a 300 blackout fanboy.
Right.
I'll tell you, I'm a little rough on it, but I think that's one of the places that needs steel case the most, because a lot of the other calibers have been around long enough that there's plenty in the supply chain, but there's not a lot of 300 blackout. And if you do, 110 grain soft point would be ideal.
I'll write it down and let them know.
The ones that are out there are these semi-heavy but not heavy enough to be subsonic weird loads that nobody was as likely to use. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. It should be either subsonic or it should be 110 grain soft point, and there just isn't any of that out there.
Well, that's an interesting take.
We've got to make these information go both ways, right?
I'll put that in my pocket.
Look, it's hard to get ammo. It's hard to get decent priced ammo. Thank you for bringing more ammo to the market. Thank you for giving us all of these options like we're talking about. Thank you for putting up with my bullshit.
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
You guys are the best. I always like hanging out with you. Thank you guys for watching. We couldn't do this without our sponsors though, so please support them. I love you.